everyone, and welcome to episode number 142 of Window Treatment Friday Live. And guess who I have with me today?
I'm
Kim, welcome back.
back.
This is so exciting. Welcome
Yes,
back. We
thank
missed
you.
you. We missed you so much.
I missed you
So
guys
you've
too.
been on maternity leave this
Yes,
whole time. It's so good to have you back. You look
thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
How is our newly minted mama doing?
I'm doing well, adjusting to mom life and went back to work this week, so kind of slowly figuring out my new routine. So yeah, it's been really
Uh-huh.
great.
Oh my goodness. And so last time we saw you, you were like this.
I was.
And now you have this beautiful family.
Yes, now we have our little baby Noah, who's so awesome. If I do say so myself, I know I'm a little biased in
A
this, but
little biased. We
yeah.
all think she's awesome and she's just so beautiful.
Yes, she's 5 months now, so that was her picture for her 5-month picture a couple weeks ago, so she's 5.5 months, so
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
she's just full of life, and her personality's coming through, and it's really great, and it's been really fun to just, like, watch her grow, so
Oh my gosh. Is she sleeping through the night? How's that thing going?
she has been, actually. She's been sleeping through the night since she was about 7 weeks old. She just
Oh my
kinda
gosh, you are
started.
super
I
lucky.
know, I know. She just kinda started doing it, and then we didn't wake up, and I said, "I know." He goes, "Well, doesn't she have to eat?" I'm like, "Not if she's sleeping." I'm like, "I'm not waking her up." I was like, "You can wake her up and feed her in the middle of the night, but I'm not doing it." And then it just kind of, snowballed from there, and she's just, we put her down at between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, and she gets up.
Mhm.
Like today, she got up at 7:20, 7:30.
That's
So it's like,
amazing.
yeah,
Amazing. Wow. You are very, very lucky. There's
yes,
a lot of
I
mamas out
know,
there who
I
do not
know. We're
have
probably
that
like,
kind
shut
of.
up.
Well, we're going to knock on wood. We're going to
Yeah,
cross our fingers. We're going to cross our toes and
yeah.
hope that it just continues staying that way. And your beautiful baby keeps
Thank you,
growing
thank
and being
you,
beautiful and bringing you so much joy, you and
thank
Carlos.
you, thank you, thank you.
And it's so good to have you, though. I mean,
Yes.
as wonderful as motherhood is, and as excited as we are for you, it's so good to have you back here with me. And you guys, what we thought we'd do today is just take a quick look down the memory
Mhm,
lane. And we also have a special announcement for you that is a little bit bittersweet, I think, for both Kim
mhm.
and I, but it needs to be done. So stay tuned for just a second longer. Well, and that big announcement, Kim, you do it.
Okay, so this is actually gonna be our last episode of Window Treatment Friday Live. I know, it's sad, and, it's been an amazing ride the last 3 years, and Vita and I started this, during the lockdown in COVID, and it was just a way for us to, talk about window treatments and connect with our colleagues in the industry that we couldn't see in person, but we would see, popping up on the comments and on the chat, and it started off as, and I thought it would pay homage to our first episode, and I'm actually going live from my family room where I did it the first time. Now it's just, flooded with pictures of Noah, but
Yes.
so that's what's changed. But I thought, it would be pretty cool to go live from where it all started, at home in my family room. So it's just been an amazing journey, and we've had so many laughs and so many WTF moments behind the scenes trying to get this to all of you.
Oh, for sure. So many WTF moments.
Yes. So,
Well, and the way it all started is really with Luann's podcast,
yes.
which is a well-designed business. And so this podcast is mostly targeted for interior designers, and also a lot of window treatment specialists listen to it as well. Luann has been doing this for, I get confused. Is it 7 years? Is it 9 years? Is it 900 episodes? I think it's close to 900 episodes.
I
We've
could tell
already-
you she came to the idea in 2015 because I was 30. So yeah, no, it's it's 7 years. It's 7
Yeah,
years now. Yeah.
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 And so a few years ago, I think back in 2019 or so, so about 4 years ago, Luann pulled me in to do a Friday episode with her about once a month, once every 2 months or so. And we called it Window Treatment Friday, or lovingly dubbing it WTF, because not only is it the acronym for Window Treatment Friday, but also serving the double duty of, yes, anybody in the window treatment industry have had their WTF moment. Because yes, it is that complicated and there's that many things that can go wrong. So the audio version of the podcast was called the Window Treatment Friday, where Luann and I would pick apart the business topics of window treatments. And 3 years ago, Kim and I started the WTF live version, and the first episode went on May 1st of 2020. So it started with Luann's podcast, and then we decided to take it to more of a visual platform where we can not just talk about window treatments, but show you the different pictures and the different situations and tell you what can go wrong and how not to do things. So it was a great, and still is a great idea, to have the visual representation of the lessons that we were trying to teach you.
Look at our graphics.
I know, right? So simple. We're like, yeah, let's slap it together. Let's go live. Well, you got to remember, in 2020, on May 1st of 2020, we were still all shaking out of our boots, not knowing exactly what this new pandemic was going to do to all of our businesses.
Yeah.
And that was the time that none of us could go on appointments. No customers would see us. There were no shipments being shipped. Everything was shut down. We had no idea what was going to happen. So for Kim and I, our highest good at that moment was to connect with all of you guys via this visual platform.
These are all the topics that we've covered. Some. Yeah.
Right. Not all, some, but so many.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember standing at my kitchen counter on speakerphone with you and just jotting down, like, okay, what are 20 things that we want to talk about? And that could be 20 episodes. We're like, we're really going to do 20 episodes.
And now here we are, 140 plus later.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of the strangest things that I thought that we did, that I'm like, there's no way we can talk about it. And yet we did, were linings.
Yes, lining. I remember you're like,
we could talk for 45 minutes about linings.
Really? We're really going to talk about lining? People are going to be interested in that? And I'm like, I think so.
Yes, and they were. And then what they wanted us to talk about was blackout lining. So not only did we talk for a half hour about all the linings, but then we talked about half hour about blackout lining alone. And then another one was drapery pins. Do you remember we had a whole episode on drapery pins? That was another one that was like, there's no way. What if here's a drapery pin? Go stick it into the drapery panel. And there's that much to unpack. There's that many details to discuss and to tell you guys about.
Our Halloween episodes.
Yes. So some of we're going to insert some of our favorite episodes here, and Halloween was definitely, hands down, one of my favorites. And I think yours as well, Kim, right?
Yeah. Our first Halloween episode, our throwback to the 80s.
Of the 80s. This is, I think we have it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
That was episode number 26. So we did throw it back to the 80s. Look at Kim and I, we're like all dressed up in Madonna outfits.
I had to wake up early to curl my hair like that, to do one piece.
One thing at a time to make it as frizzy as possible. One of my favorites, actually, to go back to this one, I loved you in the Harry Potter costume.
Thank you.
The scarf and the glasses. I mean, you totally look like
Hermione.
Yes, exactly.
Our birthday episodes. Yeah.
Our very first birthday episode, that was in 2021. And then here Luann joined us for this episode.
I
So
remember she was mad at us, like, behind the scenes. She was like, "Excuse me, nobody told me I was supposed to wear sparkles. You 2 were on there with your sparkles."
and you know what? That's not even something that we planned, I think. I think
No,
we
we did
both just kind
not.
of showed up in sparkles. So we're like,
I
oh yeah, girlfriend, I'm
Yeah,
here. Like, I know you now after a year of doing this. We're totally on the same wavelength.
I know. I told her, I said, "It wasn't planned," because she saw me walking in with another shirt, and she's like, "What is that?" I go, "I'm just gonna put it on for fun." And she was like, "What?" And then I remember she saw you, she came into from her office into the showroom. She's like, "I need something." I'm like, "I don't know."
Poor Luann, she didn't get the sparkles memo.
No.
And then we had our 100th episode, and that
Mhm.
was on June of last year,
Yes.
2022. And that was a real milestone for me. You know, I remember looking back and thinking, wow, we've been at it for 2 years. And
Mhm.
it's not like, I mean, podcasting is really hard. And this live version is taking podcasting to the next level a little
It
bit.
yeah, I think because every Friday we come in to everyone's device, whether it's, phone, computer, and whatnot. But it was a lot of work that went into it, especially in the beginning when we didn't have the help of Stephanie, who helped us tremendously when she came on board. But like doing the presentation, figuring out the technology, why aren't these headphones working? It's almost like having like a newborn baby like today. Like
Now you
like
know.
yeah, like, when, "Oh, this got them to sleep. They had this blanket on, this pajama, you held them like this, and they went to sleep real quick. Let me try to do that again next week or the next day." And it's like, that didn't work. And oftentimes, Vita and I would be like, "We're plugging things in the same exact way." And, maybe the computer needs to be shifted just a little bit or, all the things.
All the things we had to do. You're absolutely right. I remember I had to have two different phones, one pointed at the screen with the presentation, and then the other one pointed at me so you could see me. And
Mhm.
there's all sorts of contraptions and like different like bionic arms, pointing just at the right angle, and books so that the screen is lifted, elevated to the proper
Uh-huh.
level. And it's just wow. And it's like you said, we do the exact same thing that we did last week, and for some reason it's not working this week, and we're like, WTF, what is happening?
And then Vitaly would come in and go, "What are you ladies doing?" We're like, "Nothing. We didn't change anything."
And yet we showed up, you guys. We showed up well, not every, but I would say we showed up 99% of the time.
Mhm.
We took some Fridays off for, I think, the Friday after Thanksgiving. We might have
Mhm.
taken a Friday between Christmas and New Year's, but I was on vacation on some of those Fridays and I showed up. Kim was on vacation on some of those Fridays and she showed up. We wanted to be here for you as many Fridays as we could, and we did it live. And that's what I'm saying. Podcasting is incredibly hard, and going live is taking podcasting to a whole new level.
Yeah.
To be here, to have that kind of commitment. And we were so excited to bring all these different topics that all of you, well, a lot of you rather, said back to us how helpful it was, how educational. I met this one lady at IWCE a couple of months ago, and she came up to me and she was just so giddy with excitement. And she said, "Oh, Vita, thank you so much. I wish like I know you. I see you. I watch you every Friday on WTF Live. And I got such an amazing and wonderful window treatment education. And I got it for free. Thank you." I'm like, we're here for you, girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, not obviously, I wasn't at this year's conference, but last year's conference, someone came up to me about our videos or about Window Treatment Friday Live, and she said, "That you ladies are from the East Coast, because only and from the Northeast, because only, someone from the Northeast could get away with calling their web series WTF."
Really?
Yeah, I started cracking up. I'm like,
Meaning
"Well,
like we're not Southern Bells? Is that what that was implying?
we don't have that, like, they're like, I don't know if someone in the Midwest would call their window treatment, show WTF. I'm like, well, on the East Coast, that's how we feel. So
This is how we feel and this is how we roll. I mean, there's no mincing
exactly.
words here. So, Kim, did you know that our Ripple Fold Drapery episode is to this day the most favorite episode, the most watched,
Really?
and it is also the topic that gets searched the most, at least on my website. Mhm.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's
Isn't it?
really
And I think
cool.
we've done Ripple for Drapery several times. This particular episode, number 34, that's the one of the most watched ones. But over the last 140 episodes or so, there's actually, I think, two, maybe even three that where we took Ripple folds and just dissected them from various angles,
Hmm.
literally and figuratively.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. It's
Mhm.
cool to kind of look back and see, oh, this project.
Yes. And so this was episode number 67, and
Yeah.
this was all about transom windows. So that's another really popular episode for what our viewers are searching for
Hmm.
and what they want to learn. And then there's this one. This
Oh,
is
our Halloween
episode
episode.
100. It's a Halloween, and the topic is what can go wrong.
Yeah.
So we are showing pictures here. Our whole presentation, you guys, was of pictures on, usually like you go on Instagram and you see these beautiful window treatments and everything looks so beautiful and pretty and gorgeous. And you're like, of course, that's how it is all the time. That's just how life is. No, that's not how it is all the time. Oftentimes, things do go wrong. And this was one of those episodes where we wanted to share with you some of the lessons that we had learned because we either had made those mistakes or
Hmm.
saw other people making those mistakes. And then we shared with you what to do to avoid them. So, not everything is as pretty and rosy as it looks on the Instagram feeds. There's a lot of work and knowledge and dedication that goes behind the scenes in order to make that pretty picture.
Oh, wow.
All right. So, what comes next? Now, this
Yes.
is the exciting part because we are not going to leave you hanging, my friends. We're not going to leave you hanging. Kim and I committed 3 years ago to giving you window treatment education. And there are lots of ways for you to continue to receive this education. So, Kim, do you want to take a couple of bullet points here?
Yeah, so you're going to have the full library of Window Treatment Friday Live on YouTube and on all our social media channels. So if you ever are thinking about, oh, what did they talk about? What was that Ripple Fold episode? If you're tuning in now and you missed that Ripple Fold episode and you're like, I really kind of want to watch that, you could head on over to our social media platforms, YouTube. So you can rewatch any videos that you want to watch. Actually, we had our newest team members on our team, Richard and Jennifer. We had them go back and watch other episodes, previous episodes, so that this way they can kind of, expand their window treatment education.
Mhm.
You can always follow us on our social platforms because we're going to be there. You're going to see all the pictures that we would have in the presentations are all going to be there and see what we're doing and what's coming up next because there's a lot of cool things coming down in the pipeline.
And then another thing that we want you guys to definitely watch out for is there are going to be additional educational videos on YouTube. And those are going to be YouTube Shorts and they're going to be Instagram Reels on the IG platform. And so what that means is instead of Kim and I bantering back and forth for 30 minutes on all the things, whether pleats or lift systems or shades or transom windows or ripple folds, all the different topics that we've discussed, we're actually going to take a topic and put together a short but very nicely produced video so you can get a real quick education on all the different topics. You will see the pictures, so you will still see the visual representation of this industry. So it's not just going to be talking, and then you will also get the various captions about what it is that you're looking at. So we are evolving and we are growing ourselves, Kim and I, as professionals, as window treatment specialists, as business owners, and where our sort of where trends are taking us is away from the long form and long kind of tail videos and more into short and quick and kind of surgical and the in and out sort of quick educational snippets. Whereas you still get the same amount information, but you get it in a much faster and also kind of a more put together and more produced ways. So we have a wonderful sort of secret weapon behind the scenes that some of you may or may not have met at IWCE, but you've definitely heard us mention named Stephanie Hamilton of Hamilton Creative, and her husband William. They are the behind the scenes secret weapon, or maybe not so secret, that we have. And so really it was Stephanie who has been helping us put together these presentations lately, who has actually pushed us onto this new streaming platform that we have been using for a while, so that we don't have to create all sorts of contraptions that we have been doing there for a while. And it is Stephanie and William and their amazing team who will help us put together these short educational videos that will be posted on our YouTube channel, as well as on Instagram, as well as our websites. So, my friend, the education continues. Your journey to learn more about window treatments continues. It does not stop with this episode number 142. Yes, it is the final one in the way we've been doing it for the last 3 years. And that is because we understand the market and we understand the trends and we watch what's happening and how you want to get that information, how you want to learn, where the trends are going in terms of learning. And so we're evolving together with you and with the trends and with the markets. So watch for those shorts and reels coming out in the next couple of months or so.
Yep.
And then, of course, subscribe. You want to subscribe to our email newsletters. We'll talk about that in a second. And there's always that podcast that I was telling you about. So, Kim, in order for them to subscribe to your newsletter, I know that you have a gift to give.
Yes. So we have the Architectural Digest is incoming. It's basically a window treatment 101 guidebook that Luann wrote many years ago. And it is exactly what that is. It's breaking down window treatments. So if you head over to our website, windowworksnj.com, you get this free ebook, and then you will sign up for our newsletters.
And tell us why WindowWorks and how can WindowWorks in general help the customers that you guys serve?
So we not only serve interior designers, we also serve retail clients. And we are located in, if you're new watching this, we are located in Livingston, New Jersey, but that doesn't just mean we live in our little bubble. We travel all over, wherever the project or the wind takes us. And we don't not only offer window treatments, we also have an entire awning side of our business. So if it's a window that's too large to maybe treat from the inside of your house, we'll figure out a way to treat it from the outside of your house. And that's the cool thing about it, is that we offer everything on this list on the side here. We have a team with us. Our team, when I was on maternity leave, grew from on the interior side. So we have myself, Richard, and Jen. And on the awning side, we have JC and Rich. And we have our team in-house, Catherine, and our lovely installers. You know, Billy has been installing, and if you've watched these episodes, I say I couldn't do my thing without Billy. He's taught me a lot in the last 15 years, and he's been doing this 40 years. So you have someone who's been in this industry, who's been hanging window treatments for 40 years. And Carlos, who's the lead awning installer. I mean, I'm a little biased. I think he's, wonderful. And he's been installing awnings for about 17 years now. So there isn't an awning project that he will shy away from. So you really are dealing with a family from start to finish. And, it goes without saying, Luann and Vin, who started this all back when Vin, who started it all in the 80s, and Luann came on 2 years later. We learned what we know from them, and they're slowly taking a step back as WindowWorks 2.0. is coming out. So with JC and Christy and myself and Carlos and Bill. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where we take this, our next adventure. And so if you are in the area and you need any help with any window covering projects or awning projects, whether you're a retail client, you just moved into the area, you're like, I have all these windows, I have no idea what I'm doing, or an interior designer that you have a project that you need help on, we would be more than happy to help you. And this is all our information here. Our social media handles is pretty easy. It's WindowWorks across the board: Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. So you can reach us there, or you can give us a call, and we would be happy to help you on your next project.
Thank you, Kim. And if you want to connect with me on the deeper level, I would love for you to get this free gift in return for subscribing to the newsletter that I put together on a bi-weekly basis. The gift is a free curated lookbook filled with inspiration and education that we call 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you to steal, swipe, and make your own and use immediately on your next design project. And also, as I grew and as I evolved over the last 3 years or so, it was very much at the encouragement of our fearless leader, Luann Nigera, who had encouraged me to put together the various packages in which people can work with me. The most one of the best of which is through her Luann University, where I teach a class. We call it systems-driven operations. Had like a brief blonde moment there for a sec. Systems-driven operations. This is all about the back end of your window treatment business. Whether you want to scale it to your next $1 million, or you just want to keep it running as a well-oiled machine at the level where you are, you want to have more free time and be more systemized and organized. That's what the class is all about. And it runs over a 5-week period, with 2-hour classes each week. Now, if you want to turbocharge it and get the same education but super fast, I offer a VIP experience, which is an in-person, behind-the-scenes, full access pass to the Vitalia Inc. operations so that you can be more organized and you can scale. It is done in my studio, in person. It's very intense, and you actually get all of my files, all of my tools, my 100-page plus SOP binder. So those are the various ways that you can work with me. Now, you can also listen to me on the podcast. So that's another thing that had transpired and evolved and was created over the last 3 years. And as you can kind of feel and hear the theme here, Kim and I started this in 2020, where nothing was happening, nothing was going on, but we're all paralyzed by the pandemic. And Kim and I really kind of stepped up right away and said, we want to connect with our customers. We want to connect and give people inspiration and education. And of course, lots of things have happened over the last 3 years in terms of business and the way industry has evolved. And also all of us evolved too. And we have created other ways to work with us and other things that we do now. And so that is sort of the theme here, kind of the underlying current is that is one of the reasons why it is time for this very last episode of the Window Treatment Live. It was amazing 3 years ago. It still is amazing, but there's so many other things that are going on that are lighting us up, where we want to pour our energy into and still continue giving you the education. And so one of those things is this podcast that Luann started. It's not the Well-Designed Business for interior designers. This one is for window treatment professionals, and she calls it Window Treatments for Profit. And I have been very privileged and honored to be hosting, to have a guest hosting seat for a series we call Vita's Tip in 10 that comes out every Thursday. It's a 10-minute tip to make your business more profitable and better in one way or the other. And this is my direct information. If you just want to drop me a line over email, if you want to drop me a DM on Instagram, if you even want to call me, and if you're a designer in the greater Philadelphia area, we would love, love, love to support you on your window treatment projects.
Alrighty, everyone. Well, Thank you so much for joining us on today's final and farewell episode of Window Treatment Friday Live. It has been a fun adventure, and we are so glad that you joined us every week. And we came in through your headphones or however you would listen to us. And it has been really special to be able to connect with you virtually. And then we got to meet all of you in person.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us, for watching us, for giving us your feedback, for giving us your wonderful questions. And don't forget, you can still listen to us, you can still hear us, you can still watch us. There's plenty of other ways, whether you want to rewatch the old episodes or tune in to all the new goodness that we have in store for you. And so until then, my friends, I say goodbye. And my friend Kim, I say goodbye to you here on this platform. But of course, we will stay connected now that you're back. What did I say to you in your text? Well, welcome to the world of the working.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of the living and working.
Well,
thank you, guys.
Thank
you. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
You back, and thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you in one of the other ways that we have in store for you.
Yes. Bye, everyone.